I've got to tell you guys, what just went down in Cleveland feels less like football news and more like the kind of stuff you read about in history books when an empire collapses. I mean, Shedeur Sanders didn't just have a disagreement with his head coach. He didn't just get frustrated like a rookie usually does when things aren't going his way. No, Sanders straight up walked out of Browns headquarters after a full-blown confrontation with Kevin Stefanski. And I can't stress this enough. This wasn't business as usual. This was the moment the cracks split wide open and the entire building realized they were standing on an earthquake. Picture the scene. Morning meetings, offense installing the game plan, everybody focused on this third down package against the scout defense. Stefanski calls out Sanders, questions his execution, and suddenly the air just snaps. Voices rise, words fly, and before anyone can even process it, Shedeur stands up. He rips off his wristband with the play calls, looks around the room and says, "I'm done with this." And then he does the unthinkable. He grabs his stuff, storms out, and walks down that hallway while Kevin Stefanski is literally chasing after him, demanding he come back. But Sanders doesn't even turn his head, doesn't break stride, just keeps walking all the way out to the parking lot, where stunned teammates are literally standing there watching him drive away. Now let me stop here, because when I first heard this, my jaw dropped. You don't just see a rookie quarterback walk out on his head coach like that. This isn't some kind of negotiating tactic. This isn't about angling for leverage. This is an organizational implosion playing out live right in front of everyone. And if you've been following the Browns quarterback mess all training camp, you knew it was getting ugly. But this is confirmation. This is the nightmare scenario becoming reality. From what I'm told, Stefanski was furious behind closed doors. You guys saw the press conference, the tight jaw, the clenched hands, the fake professional calm. But that was the sanitized version. Inside that building, it was volcanic. Coaches who've been with him for 20 years said they've never seen Kevin like this. Yelling, cursing, shaking with anger. The man was shattered, not just disappointed. And when he stood in front of the camera saying, "We've done everything to support him, but at some point you have to put the team first." What he really meant was Sanders crossed the line he can't come back from. And you could feel it. Reporters asked about Sanders' specific frustrations, and Stefanski snapped. He raised his voice, told the media flat out, "This is professional football, not therapy." Quarterbacks don't walk away from criticism. His knuckles were white on the podium. For just a second, the mask slipped and the fury showed. But here's the thing. This didn't come out of nowhere. This tension has been building for weeks. Ever since that embarrassing loss to the Rams, Sanders has felt like Stefanski's personal punching bag. And it's crazy because Shedeur actually played well in that game. 3 touchdowns, 70% completion rate. But in film sessions, Stefanski zeroed in on every single incompletion, every missed protection, every audible. And he downplayed the good. Teammates said it felt less like coaching and more like targeting. One guy even told me straight up, it was like he wanted Sanders to fail. And then there's the practice reps. This blows my mind. Ownership drafts Shedeur to be the face of the franchise, invests everything in him. And Stefanski keeps splitting reps like Sanders is just another body in the quarterback room. Sometimes he even got fewer snaps than journeyman vets who won't even be here next year. The message was loud and clear. You're not special. I don't care what the owner says. I don't care about your draft stock. You'll earn everything my way. For a rookie quarterback who came in expecting to be the guy, that feels like sabotage. Add in the press conferences, where Stefanski never used his name but made pointed comments like quarterbacks need to stop freelancing and learn how to lead. Everyone knew who he was talking about. Sanders watched those clips on repeat. He stewed on it. And by the time this week rolled around, he wasn't just frustrated, he felt scapegoated. So when Stefanski called him out in front of everyone again, Sanders broke. That was the last straw. And when he walked out, the whole facility erupted in chaos. Teammates ran outside trying to call him back. Alex Van Pelt, the offensive coordinator, literally sprinted to the parking lot. But by the time he got there, Shedeur's car was gone. Inside, Stefanski pulled the team together for an emergency meeting, and according to sources, he went full scorched earth. He told the players, if you can't commit, get out. This train moves forward without you. And right there, the locker room split in half. Receivers who built chemistry with Sanders, furious when Even confronted Stefanski directly. The defense tried to stay neutral, but admitted privately this felt like a leadership crisis. Even the offensive linemen, usually Stefanski loyalists, looked torn. One vet said flat out, "The locker room feels broken. Half of us ride with the coach, half think he's lost it." And then the storm hit social media. Within minutes, Shedeur Sanders was trending nationwide. Clips of Stefanski's presser racked up millions of views. Fans were at each other's throats. Some screaming Stefanski just fumbled away the Browns' future. Others praising him for finally standing up to so-called rookie entitlement. Shannon Sharpe tweeted about it. Skip Bayless countered with the opposite take. Analysts, ex-players, influencers, everybody weighed in. The whole football world turned its eyes on Cleveland. But maybe the most explosive reaction? Jimmy Haslam, the owner, the man who handpicked Sanders to be the franchise savior. Sources say when he found out Sanders walked, he lost it. He called Stefanski directly, screaming over the phone, demanding to know how this happened. People who overheard described it as volcanic. He told Stefanski to fix it immediately or face consequences. And right there, Stefanski's power cracked. Because this wasn't just a player challenging him anymore. This was ownership. Meanwhile, GM Andrew Berry stuck in the middle, looking like he aged 5 years in one afternoon. He was on the phone non-stop, calling Sanders reps, calming down ownership, trying to patch things up with Stefanski, all while managing a media firestorm. Nobody planned for this scenario, and now the entire front office looks cornered. And here's the kicker. Sanders is still under his rookie deal. He can't just walk away without consequences. If he refuses to return, the Browns can fine him, suspend him, maybe even void his guarantees. But if they go that route, they might destroy the relationship forever, not to mention torch their public image. On the other hand, if they back down and bend to Sanders, Stefanski's authority is gone for good. Every player will know the coach folded when challenged. I've been covering the NFL a long time, and let me tell you, what's happening right now in Cleveland isn't just a quarterback controversy, it's an outright implosion. Chaos doesn't just linger around the Browns, it rules them. Inside that facility, you've got assistant coaches cracking dark jokes just to stay sane. Jim Schwartz, the defensive coordinator, supposedly told his staff, "Prepare like normal while everything burns around us." And Bubba Ventron, the special teams coordinator, even joked, "Well, at least the punt team's drama-free." That's where things are. The humor isn't funny anymore. It's gallows humor. It's the only way they can mask the fact that this franchise is on the brink of something catastrophic. And across the league, oh, people are watching. Executives, scouts, rival coaches. They're staring at Cleveland like it's a car crash you can't look away from. One NFC general manager flat out said it. This is why quarterback evaluation goes beyond Army. Strength. You're not just drafting players, you're drafting personalities. Another AFC exec took it even further. Cleveland's making every mistake possible. Honestly, it's impressive how badly they've mismanaged this. Think about that. The Browns aren't just failing on the field. They're becoming a cautionary tale, a textbook example of what not to do. And here's the part that blows my mind. Players across the NFL are paying attention. They're watching Shedeur Sanders, this rookie, literally walk out on his team after a clash with Kevin Stefanski. And they're asking themselves, can a rookie quarterback really leverage change in a billion-dollar organization? If Sanders pulls it off, he sets a precedent for player empowerment we've never seen before. But if Stefanski holds his ground, it reinforces the old-school coaching autonomy, the my way or the highway mentality. And don't think the players aren't taking sides. One prominent quarterback texted Sanders with words of encouragement. Stand your ground, don't let them break you. Meanwhile, another veteran reportedly messaged Stefanski, stay strong. You can't let the inmates run the asylum. That right there tells you this isn't just about Cleveland anymore. This is turning into a league-wide philosophical battle. Old guard versus new era. Authority versus empowerment. Behind the scenes, negotiations are desperate, but they're not moving. Sanders' camp is demanding guarantees. A starting job, more say in play calling, even a public apology from Stefanski. Stefanski, on the other hand, is holding firm. His counter? You come back now, apologize to the team, and you'll accept whatever role we decide. That's not compromise. That's two immovable objects slamming into each other. And here's the psychology of it all. Stefanski has built his entire identity as a coach around structure, discipline, and hierarchy. If he caves to a rookie quarterback, that identity, that credibility evaporates. He knows it. His assistants know it. The league knows it. But here's the twist. Ownership doesn't care. Jimmy Haslam reportedly wants Sanders on the field this Sunday, period. No excuses. That means Stefanski isn't just fighting for authority. He's fighting for his job. Now flip it to Sanders. This kid was a 5th-round pick, overlooked by half the league, doubted by scouts, criticized by analysts. He's clawed his way into this position, earned it through performance, and he refuses to accept being disrespected. Every slight feels personal. Every missed rep in practice feels like a slap in the face. For him, walking away wasn't just frustration. It was a declaration. I deserve better than this. And you know what makes this even crazier? The fan base is splitting right down the middle. Younger fans are riding with Sanders. They see this as a fight for player empowerment, for respect, for a new culture. Older fans, they're standing by Stefanski. They want discipline, tradition, hierarchy. This isn't just football anymore. This is cultural. It's generational. It's about authority, respect, and power. Meanwhile, the media has turned Cleveland into ground zero. Reporters from ESPN, Fox, NFL Network, they're circling like vultures. Every single update becomes breaking news. Talking heads are debating this endlessly, even though half of them don't have the full story. But controversy equals ratings, and this story is pure gold for them. Let's look at the possible outcomes because none of them look good. Scenario 1, Sanders comes back after some closed-door meeting. Both sides call it a misunderstanding and they limp forward with zero trust. Scenario 2, Stefanski gets fired. Sanders returns as the face of the team and a new coach comes in. Scenario 3, Sanders gets traded, Stefanski keeps control, and the Browns hit the reset button. Scenario 4, this thing drags out. Season implodes, and everybody, coach, quarterback, front office, all get blown up by year's end. Do you see a good outcome in there? Because I don't. And here's the reality. The damage is already done. Even if Sanders shows up tomorrow, the trust is gone. The chemistry is shattered. Defenses smell blood. Pittsburgh's defensive coordinator allegedly told his guys they're imploding. Just be patient. Let them destroy themselves. That's where we're at. The Browns have become their own worst enemy. Inside the building, survival mode has kicked in. Coaches are updating resumes. Players are quietly asking agents about trades. Front office guys are documenting everything to protect their reputations. One assistant reportedly said the team concept died when Shedeur walked out. That's chilling. And for Sanders, the stakes couldn't be higher. If he pulls this off, he's rewritten the rules of rookie leverage in the NFL. If it blows up, he's branded as immature, difficult, uncoachable, no middle ground. Same with Stefanski. If he gives in, he loses credibility forever. If he stands firm, he could be unemployed by Monday. These next 48 hours will define both of their careers. Now, let's not ignore the bigger picture. Cleveland has been here before. Different quarterbacks, different coaches, different front office names. Same disaster. There's something broken deep in the DNA of this franchise. They cannot create stability. They cannot develop talent. They cannot build sustainable success. And until that gets fixed at the core, it doesn't matter who wears the headset or the jersey, the Browns will keep repeating this cycle. So here we are. Thursday night creeping closer. Sanders isn't answering calls. Stefanski won't budge. Ownership is desperate. The media circus grows by the hour. The fans are eating each other alive on Twitter, and one league insider put it perfectly. If Sanders doesn't come back soon, this isn't just a quarterback controversy. This could define the Browns for years. That's the reality. When your rookie quarterback literally walks out and your head coach refuses to bend, somebody's getting fired. Maybe everybody's getting fired. This is organizational Armageddon, and it's unfolding in real time. No matter how this ends, the scars are permanent. Trust is broken. Relationships are gone. The Browns' 2024 season is compromised before October even arrives. Another wasted year. Another quarterback controversy. Another rebuild before the last one even had a chance. And maybe that's the true tragedy of Cleveland football. The endless cycle of dysfunction. A head coach who can't hold authority. A rookie who refuses to bow. Ownership that meddles until everything collapses. Fans trapped in perpetual disappointment. It's a masterclass in organizational self-destruction. And while the rest of the league watches in fascination and horror, the Browns stumble deeper into chaos. Whatever resolution comes, reconciliation, firing, or trade, it won't matter. The Browns have already lost something more important than games. They've lost cohesion. They've lost trust. And until that changes, this franchise will remain stuck in the same endless, heartbreaking loop.